Exactly right. And it's been very fascinating to this year have health as priority number one. And I think that it's very common for people to pay lip service to that. And, getting in better shape or whatever it might be is one of several priorities that they have and resolutions. But when you have one resolution, and literally my one resolution was health first, period, end of story, it makes your life not only healthier, but in my case, a lot easier, because it's almost like having a religion. You have this mission statement.
Yeah, you have a North Star.
Right. So for instance, if I have committed to a business meeting and that business meeting is early in the morning for whatever reason, and I have insomnia the night before and I can't sleep, health number one dictates that as pissed off as that person might be, I send them an email or notify them that I'm canceling and I get the sleep required. And
how do you, just because your tools are valuable. So when you can't get enough sleep, one of the things you talk about is taking an ice bath before bed, which I imagine if you're depleted and feeling sick isn't any fun at all. Have you found anything since you've written the book and posts about aiding in getting more sleep, longer sleep? Have you found anything else that works for you or that can work for others?
Definitely. There are a handful of things that work across the board, I think, that are very helpful. One is a free application, free program called Flux, F.LUX, which dims the brightness or heat of your computer screens upon sunset, depending on your time zone. So I think that to minimize blue light exposure and how that can interrupt your circadian rhythms and your sleep, it's a very easy way to go about improving the odds of good sleep. There's another device.
I'm downloading that now.
Oh, it's so good. It's so great. There's another tool that's a little on the expensive side, but it solves a really interesting problem. Now, in my experience, when a male sleeps next to a woman at night, the woman is like a space heater. For whatever reason, they tend to run at like 170 degrees. I have no idea, but like women tend to be very hot.
That could just be the Ferriss effect on them, honestly.
It could be the Ferriss effect, but a lot of my male friends who are married, have girlfriends, complain about this, where they're like, "Oh my God, like I can't cuddle because they're so damn hot. I need to sleep with one leg on top of the covers just to try to get to sleep." There is a device, and you don't need to have a significant other or a transient other in the bed to use this. It's called the Chili Pad, and I think it's just Chili, LLY, Chili Pad, but you can find it on Amazon. And it is a very thin layer that you put under your side of the bed. And then there's a device that sits to the side of the bed and it circulates water at a precise temperature of your choosing. So if you learn, for instance, that you sleep best at 57 degrees, 63 degrees, 67 degrees, you can maintain that temperature even if you're under covers with someone else. It's a really interesting device. And I've had at least a half a dozen friends tell me this is like the biggest game changer in their quality of life in the last several years.
You don't understand. I mean, this issue of temperature in which I sleep, like everybody, is a huge issue for me. I need it to be cold. And I think you have, of all the things I've taken from you, I think this may be the best one. I'm so excited to try this. I know you said it was expensive, but I mean, if I have to sell this laptop, I'm getting that thing. That just sounds awesome.
Oh yeah. It's really incredible. And it's by expensive. I mean, it's a few $100, but if you look at, if you make even, 40 or 50 grand a year and you're operating at 70% of your capacity because you get a few nights sleep that are terrible each week or even just mediocre, it's a very smart investment. And I remember, this old mother in Panama, trust me, this is a point to this. She said to me, and she was in just a really impressive family. The whole family was varsity. I mean, all of these people were top in business, top in politics, top in fill in the blank.
Yeah.
And this mother was no exception. She had this incredible career before she decided to focus on family. And she said, "Let me give you a piece of advice." This was many years ago because I was complaining about my shoes at the time. She said, "Get the best bed you can afford and the best pair of shoes you can afford, because if you're not in one, you'll be in the other." And I was like, ooh, that is really good advice. So
that is fantastic advice.